This is how I plan on going pro in Fortnite 2024. Hopefully hearing about what I'm going to do is going to inspire you to do something yourself, or give you ideas on how you can improve yourselves as well. Make sure you like the video for the algorithm, so this gets pushed out to even more people. And thank you to Potato Deal for being a positive member of the JKC community. Let's go. After playing idly for seasons and not really getting any better, I decided it was time to make a change. I had always been good at the game, well for the last 10 seasons or so, and definitely better than the average player, but I was not near the pro player level. One of the main reasons I realised for this was I'd stopped learning new mechanics, and I'd stopped playing the game in a way where I thought about it. I was playing the game like a robot, just playing it, and just playing it was all I did. Whether it was ranked or creative, I was never thinking about my fights, just playing it on autopilot. This was the main problem, and I decided to fix it. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been playing Fortnite in a way that I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I've had 3 or 4 things I've been thinking about constantly while fighting and trying to improve on. If you keep doing this, and once you get good at one thing and do it on autopilot, you keep adding new things into the mix, you're going to improve so much. The things I noticed personally in my gameplay were I was not tracking the opponent very well in my fight. I was quite often losing track of them, and that was one of my resolutions. From that moment on, whenever I was fighting, I was making sure I knew exactly where they were, or tried to at least. This increased concentration on my opponent's whereabouts meant that I started winning a lot more fights. These don't have to be general, they can be moves you want to integrate as well. I had a couple of high ground retakes my friend Ben taught me that were super well protected and super easy to use, but I'd never used them before, so integrating them into my gameplay was quite a challenge. But focusing on this and focusing on the movement and tracking the opponent meant that I was getting so much better in a short amount of time. That's when I finally realised what I said at the start of the video. I'd just been going on autopilot, and if I actually concentrated on these new moves, I'd be so much better for it. And that goes for anyone, guys. If you want to become a pro, make sure you're working on something at all times. There can't be a moment of rest where you're just playing the game for fun. Even playing the game, even when against the easiest of opponents or doing pubs, you've got to make sure you are thinking about what you're doing. Pubs is a great opportunity to learn new moves. The players aren't as good, therefore you have more time in fights and you're not constantly under pressure. As about 3 weeks ago, I also started VOD reviewing a lot more. VOD reviewing stands for video on demand, and it's where you look back at old gameplay, whether it be in replay mode or of the players playing the game, and just see what they do differently, or watch yourself and we'll see what you could do better. I saw a lot of controller players using day cones all the time. I always thought day cones were more of a choice and they weren't really necessary, but after watching people play, day cones are incredible. They honestly make the fight so much faster and you finish them off quick. I started learning day cones and I can now do them a lot more comfortably. They're nowhere near up to standard of where the others are, and I'll continue working on them. But video on demand reviewing or VOD reviewing really helped me pick out those weaknesses. I also went back into replay mode and looked back at some of the Victory Cup games from the pros and from someone who got their first earnings that week. I then picked out what they were doing, if they had any new strategies, and I actually learned how to do the wings movement against the wall with Icarus's wings. I know this isn't so new anymore, but this was 3 weeks ago. The pros can try and hide by not streaming events, but if you go into replay mode and watch them play, they can't hide their strategies from you. They're all out in the open. You've just got to be smart enough to notice them. This thing I've been doing is a little bit similar to the first one, but it's to do with tournaments. Playing tournaments backseat gaming, as in not fully entranced in the game and not trying 100%, is something I'm guilty of a lot of the time. Whether it's because I had a bad first game and then just gave up, or was not really feeling it that day, I've had plenty of moments where I probably could have done really well in the tournament, but I wasn't really on it for some reason. That's going to change. I've got 17 PR this season already, and seeing my friend Liam recently get earnings was a big motivational factor. It's the leap that really shows anything is possible, and seeing someone you know get earnings might motivate you to do a similar thing. So Victory Cups in the future, I'm going to be trying 100%. If I dive spawn 2 games, I'm then not going to get super depressed and just try to key everyone. I'm going to stay tight with it, keep my focus, and make sure I make endgame every single game to maximise my points. Guys, with the Victory Cups there, anyone can become a pro, literally. Whether you define pro as making your first money or having 10,000 PR, it doesn't matter, because anyone can do it. It is so simple in 2024. You have all the guides up on YouTube, all the guides with the Destiny Jesus masterclasses that are pretty cheap. You can buy drop maps from pretty much anyone to get the best drop for your drop every single time. Creative maps, new and improved versions are coming out every week that can help you improve your mechanics all the time. Never has there been a better time to improve fast and become a pro. I release a lot of YouTube guides, and if you're interested in seeing my journey and becoming better in tournaments and becoming better to give you guys tips, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. This one on the screen is another banger that you can watch free of charge. I'll see you in a bit, guys. Have a good one.